Hey, my friend. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. I know life is busy, and I know your mind might be full right now. But you chose to press play. You chose this moment for yourself. And that's powerful. Today, I want to talk about someone very special. Someone who matters more than you realize. That person is your future self. I want you to imagine something. Just take a breath. And picture this with me. 1 year from now. You wake up. The sunlight is soft. You stretch, make a cup of tea or coffee. You open your laptop. And start reading a real book in English. You understand most of it. You smile. Later that day you walk into a coffee shop. The barista says, "Hey, how's it going?" And you answer, no fear, no hesitation. You don't have to translate in your head. The words just come. Can you see that version of you? That version already speaks fluent English. That version feels calm and confident. But here's the truth. They don't appear by magic. That future version of you is created, slowly, quietly, from the choices you make today. From the small things, tiny habits, the moments that don't feel important but are. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to study for 2 hours every day. You just need to keep showing up. And I know. Sometimes showing up is the hardest part. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago I was sitting at my desk. I had my notebook open. My favorite English podcast was queued up. I had a plan. But I just stared at the screen. My mind said, "Not today. You're tired. You're not improving. This isn't working." And I listened. Closed the book. I walked away. That day I didn't study. And honestly, it wasn't the first time. I've had many of those days. Days when I felt like a failure. Days when I thought, maybe I'm not someone who can do this. Have you ever felt like that? If you have, I want you to know, you're not alone. Every learner, every fluent speaker has those days. Days full of doubt. Days full of silence. But something changed for me. It wasn't a big decision. It wasn't a big breakthrough. It was something small. The next day, I didn't try to study for an hour. I didn't try to be perfect. I just listened to English for 5 minutes, while brushing my teeth. That's it. 5 minutes. And you know what? That 5 minutes brought me back. It reminded me, I'm still in the game. I'm still walking toward that version of me, the fluent one, calm one, the confident one. We often wait for motivation to find us. But motivation is like the wind, it comes and goes. What actually helps? Building simple routines. Making learning automatic. Like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. So today I want to give you 3 very small things you can do. They don't take much time. They don't need perfect English. But they will move you closer to your future self. First, try shadowing 1 sentence every morning while brushing your teeth. Pick a video or podcast you love. Listen to 1 sentence. Repeat it out loud. Copy the rhythm. Just 1 sentence. You don't need a classroom. Just consistency. Second, after lunch, write 1 sentence in English. It doesn't have to be special. Just something simple. I'm tired today. I miss home. I'm learning slowly, but I'm learning. That's it. 1 thought. Every day. Third, before you sleep, record yourself speaking for 30 seconds. Talk about your day, your mood, your plans for tomorrow. You don't need to share it with anyone. But over time, you'll hear your own voice changing. You'll feel it. And more importantly, you'll believe it. Because your future self isn't far away. They're already waiting, already cheering for you. You're not building fluency. You're building a future. Let's walk toward that version of you. Together. Let's keep going, my friend. You're still here. You're still listening. That means something. Because this part of the journey, it's not about new tips or study tricks. It's about something deeper. It's about who you believe you are. Most people say, I'm trying to learn English. Or, I want to improve my English. And that's a good place to start. But what if you change the story? What if instead of saying, I'm learning English, you said, I'm an English speaker. I'm someone who speaks English every day. Feels different, right? That's what we call an identity shift. It's the difference between forcing yourself to study and becoming the kind of person who just does it. Think of it like this. A runner doesn't run because they have to. They run because it's who they are. A reader doesn't read only when they're motivated. They read because it's part of their identity. So let me ask you gently, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be someone who sometimes studies English, only when life is perfect? Or do you want to be someone who shows up, even on messy, lazy, tired days? You don't need to be perfect to become that person. You just need to practice being them a little more each day. I want to share something that helped me. Started with a sticky note. I wrote this sentence and put it on my wall. I'm the kind of person who speaks English every day, even for 5 minutes. That was it. Simple, but powerful. Every time I saw it, I remembered who I was becoming. Not who I used to be. Not who I hoped to be. But who I already was, one sentence at a time. And slowly, something shifted. English stopped feeling like a subject. It became part of my daily rhythm. Some mornings I didn't feel like studying, so I didn't open a textbook. I just whispered a few phrases while getting dressed. Some evenings I was too tired to journal, so I recorded a 15-second voice message to myself. Some days I didn't feel motivated at all, but I still showed up. And that's when I realized, consistency doesn't mean doing everything. It means doing something, even when you're tired, especially when you're tired, because those are the moments that shape your identity the most. Your brain starts to believe, I guess this is just who we are now. We're the kind of person who keeps showing up. And that belief changes everything. You see, fluency doesn't come from big dramatic study sessions. It comes from the quiet days, the boring days, the days when you practice alone, the days when no one claps for you, and still you speak. That's the real magic. That's what builds the future version of you. The one who speaks with ease, who helps others, who watches movies without subtitles and feels proud. And here's something beautiful. You don't have to wait until you're fluent to feel proud. You can feel it now, because you're already becoming that person, right now, in this moment. So here's your small reflection for today. Write down this sentence somewhere you can see it. I'm the kind of person who practices English every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Say it out loud. Whisper it if you need to, but say it, because the more you say it, the more it becomes true. You're not forcing yourself. You're becoming yourself. One day at a time. One word at a time. Let's be honest, not every day is good. There are days when your body feels tired, your mind feels heavy, and your heart feels far away from learning anything. You open your notebook and it stays empty. You open your favorite English app and close it right away. You feel like you're losing your rhythm. Maybe you've had a day like that recently. Maybe today is one of those days. If that's true, let me tell you something very important. It's okay. You are not failing. You are not lazy. You are human. And being human means having ups and downs. Some days we shine. Other days we hide. But the real question is this. Can you stay connected to your journey, even when you feel like turning away? Because here's what I've learned. The people who succeed in learning English are not the ones who do everything perfectly. They are the ones who never disappear. They stay in the room. They keep the door open, even when it's hard. That's why I want to introduce something gentle but powerful. It's called the bare minimum. The bare minimum is not about doing less. It's about never losing your connection. It's your promise to yourself, even on the worst day. It's a small action that says, I didn't quit. I showed up. Let me give you an example. There was a time in my life when I felt really low. My energy was gone. My work was stressful. My motivation was missing. Every part of me wanted to pause everything, including English. But something in me said, don't stop completely. Just do one small thing. So I made a tiny rule. Every night while brushing my teeth, I would say one sentence in English out loud. One sentence. That's it. Sometimes I said, I'm still learning. Sometimes, tomorrow will be better. Sometimes just, I'm tired but I'm here. Felt silly at first. But over time I realized something. That one sentence kept the light on. It reminded me who I was. It reminded me that my journey wasn't broken. It was just slower for a little while. And that's the power of the bare minimum. So today I invite you to create your own. Ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do, even on my worst day? Doesn't need to be big. It doesn't even need to feel impressive. Maybe it's listening to one English phrase, writing one word, watching one short video, saying your name and one feeling. I'm Anna. I feel tired today. Whatever it is, let it be gentle. Let it be kind. Let it be something you can do half asleep, with messy hair and no motivation. Because on bad days you don't need to move fast. You just need to not disappear. My friend, learning English is not a straight line. It's not always exciting. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's lonely. But that's okay. Because the real progress happens on days when no one sees you. It happens on days when you whisper instead of shout. It happens on days when you only have energy for one word, but you speak it anyway. So if today feels heavy, please remember, your journey is still alive. You are still becoming. Even one word can keep the fire burning. Write this down. Say it out loud. Or simply repeat it in your mind. I don't have to do it all today. I just need to stay close to the path. Even in the dark, I will leave the light on. Let's come back to the image we began with. The one that lives quietly in your imagination. You walk into a coffee shop or maybe a classroom. You smile. Someone asks, "Hey, how's your day?" And without thinking, without fear, you answer with ease. Your words don't hide. Your voice doesn't shake. You don't search for vocabulary in the dark. Instead, you speak simple, clear, true. And you feel something you've waited a long time to feel. Peace, confidence, freedom. That's your future self. That version of you is not a dream or a fantasy. It's not an unrealistic goal. That version is real. It's possible. It's waiting. And it's being built, quietly, gently, through every small action you've taken to this point. Every minute you listened, every phrase you repeated, every time you chose to stay connected to English even when you felt tired, confused, or hopeless. You've already started. That future self is not far. They are just one decision away. One step. One word. You don't need to chase perfection. You don't need to be the best. You don't need to catch up to anyone. All you need is to continue. Keep showing up, especially when it's hard. Keep whispering English to yourself when no one's listening. Keep believing that even slow progress is still progress. Because the version of you that speaks fluently isn't created in one day. They're shaped by small, almost invisible choices. And the most important ones are made not when you feel strong but when you feel weak. It's in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when you say one sentence aloud before bed, or listen to your favorite English podcast while washing the dishes, or write, "I'm tired today but I'm trying" in your journal. That's where the transformation is happening. Not loudly, but faithfully. And if you could see your future self standing in front of you right now, they wouldn't say, "Study more." They would look into your eyes and say, "Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me." So if you're asking, will I ever be fluent? My answer is simple. You already are becoming. And the fact that you're here listening means your journey is alive. Not perfect but real. Not fast but steady. You don't need to wait until next year, next week, or next Monday to take action. Start now. Whisper one word. Repeat one phrase. Say one thought out loud. Because when you take small steps, you're not just learning English. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't give up. Who keeps the promise. Who chooses growth, even when it's hard. You're not the same as you were yesterday. And tomorrow you won't be the same as today. Let that truth give you comfort. Let it give you power. Let it carry you forward. Your future self already speaks fluent English. They're already smiling at you. Now it's your turn. Walk toward them. One word at a time. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If something in this episode touched you, if a sentence gave you strength, Or if just hearing English in a calm, gentle space made you feel a little more confident, then I'd love to know. Speech Balloon in the comments below. Share one thing you're taking with you. Maybe it's a sentence that gave you hope. Maybe it's a reminder that even small steps count. Or maybe it's just the decision to keep going. Your words might inspire someone else who's on the same path. And if you found this helpful and want to keep growing your English and your mindset in a space that's real, honest, and made for people just like you, subscribe to this channel. New episodes are coming. And each one is created with care to support your journey, not just your language. Let's keep building your future self together. I'll see you in the next episode. And until then, keep going. Your voice matters, and you're doing better than you think.